Okay.
I will call to order the regular meeting of the East Haddam Wetlands and Watercourse Commission on this Tuesday, February 16th, at 7:30. Call Tim.
Randolph Dell. Mayor Augustini, absent. Brian Goff. Present. Daniel James. Here. Jennifer Burton Reed. Here.
Good evening.
Okay, we'll move on to minutes of the last meeting, January 19th. Any corrections?
I didn't have anything.
Entertain a motion to approve.
Move we approve the minutes from the last month's meeting as they stand. Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion?
Who seconded that?
Hearing none, let's go to the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. I had no bills in my packet.
No bills?
Field inspection report, we had one field inspection on Sunday the 14th. And it was at the cottage of Stephen and Cindy Ann Longobardi. Attendance at that inspection, myself, Dan, subdivision review, item A, this is a new application. 31-0125 Falls Road, Garrett Holmes is the applicant. Speed Realty is the owner. It's a 2-lot subdivision, assessors map 65, lot.
Okay. So, I handed out the subdivision sheet, and it's labeled SB1. It is their desire to knock out almost 1.5 acres of land from the entire 25 Falls Road complex, which is the Grist Mill complex. And that would leave the balance with 11.3 acres. The orange depicts the area that they'd like to take out. You might know it from looking at it as having the 3 buildings, warehouse buildings on the right-hand side of the driveway as you drive in. This map has the wetland flagging on it, which is the blue, all the way back, which that's the Moodus River on the backside. The second page is a close-up of the existing buildings and the way they sit.
Is it actually called the Gristmill Plaza?
Gristmill Plaza, yeah. Yep. The third one is the, just to show you the change, knocking down 3 buildings, putting up 1. The last is just for curiosity, like what their proposed architecturals. The steps they have to do is first they have to go through subdivision to be subdivided through planning and zoning. Then the second part would come in through site plan review and special exception review for a commercial building in a commercial zone.
So, I'm sorry, this is there are 3 buildings that are proposed to, 2 buildings that are proposed to be raised.
Actually, all 3.
Where's the third? Oh, I see. Oh, okay, all right. And I was gonna ask where this building is, so it's gonna go over top of those 2 to the south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a label, but now I understand. Thank you.
So, from a wetland perspective, to subdivide, everything's hundreds of feet away. So they're not asking to do any activity in the upland review.
Are there new utilities going in, or are they just kind of connecting to existing?
They're going to the septic system, they're gonna eliminate two and use one. They're going to put a new well in. They are, if you looked at the, third plan, they're gonna put underneath the landscaping in the front, a stormwater management system that I'll have Brian Curtis review before it hits the drainage, the existing drainage systems. So they're really tying into a lot of the existing stuff when it comes to that point. The power is gonna be taken down and reinstalled underground and things like that.
Just out of curiosity, if they're not using parking for the existing building to the north, why are they taking it down?
Say that again?
So the building to the north, which is that large warehouse building,
Yep.
I figured they were taking it down to use for parking, but it looks like this plan doesn't really include.
A little of a bit next the loading dock area in the back. That's also the only spot they can put a well to meet the.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
and also too, it's, the age of the building and they've made a decision and rather renovate that new was, what they wanted to do. And then they're creating a lawn out back there. That whole section in the back where the building is and parking is all now, designated as lawn, so.
No, it's not in our purview, it's more planning and zoning. I recall attending these plans, the town should use the old style where you put the parking behind the building.
So if you look,
Planning and zoning, thinking about any of
so
that?
when you look at our regulations, when we talked about those plans, and it was actually in the, IG, when we gave examples in architectural, what it says on it is to avoid parking in the front, and if possible, put in the back or to the side is preferable. So it left that option of, to it, so that's, what it says in it, but.
The idea of parking behind buildings, thinking it looks worse than all that pavement right in your face.
Well, and it also, landscaping, so that'll be a P and Z discussion.
Yeah, like I said, it's
Yep.
not in our purview. I just remember that discussion.
Well, what they're planning on is putting a row of trees or vegetation on the roadside,
On the, which side there?
on the roadside, all through the front, I guess.
There's a planting plan in the front,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. There's planting to the side and fencing to the side, so.
So is there any more information that we need to get?
Not really, since it's so far away from the upland review that it's,
Do you know what the distance is approximately?
well, if you looked at the back property line that they're proposing, it's 206, so you're over 400 to 500 feet away from the Ludus River. Yeah.
The only concern I think is straightforward. That's the only wetland on the property. No other issues. There's no great slope here from this property. For the rest of it, no one to be concerned about. I would say, just move this on to planning and zoning. However, also know that proposal is for this. I'd be a little bit concerned if we want to do diligence to a field inspection, just confirm everything. If somebody's going to, public hearing, somebody said, well, what are the wetlands? Did they go out and look at the property or not? So, I invite the rest of the commissioners to take that on.
So I guess my question, I understand your philosophy, I agree with your philosophy. This will certainly go to a public hearing with P and Z. Do you anticipate potential problems from people in town or from?
Jim was probably more tuned into social media than I am, and there's already a lot of talk about this.
There's been, I think the reality is that, the application, there was social media back and forth. A lot of it was misconception. Some of it was, well, we have an ordinance that doesn't allow big box. That's not true. We have, it was never to be X, Y, and Z companies. No, that's not true. We can't do that. So literally, it's gonna have to, for planning and zoning, stand on its own as to whether it meets the regulations or not. You know, a lot of people really don't wanna hear that sort of thing, but it's retail. It's, you know, and then the question comes down from a planning and zoning, you know, viewpoint, does it meet the regulations that are in place at this time? Do they address the Chatham Health District's concerns? Do they address the state's concern by having a non-transient well? All of those things come into play. But from a wetlands, you know, viewpoint, you know,
Does the property use the state stormwater drainage easement now, or is
Yeah.
it just drain the road?
No, that everything ties in together. When they did the gristmill complex, they tied it into the backside, and there is a large stormwater management vortex unit in the back. And
So, I mean, if it's used now and what they're proposing is less impervious area, then it seems like that wouldn't be much of an issue.
they're also proposing stormwater, you know, infiltration systems in the front, so.
Well, to Randy's point, if this is a hot topic, or potentially a hot topic, we wouldn't slow it down by looking at it, would we, Jim?
Not particularly. I mean, I don't have an official planning and zoning application to me yet. So even if I did by next week is the second thing, so yeah, we wouldn't hold a public hearing until a month out from the second meeting, so that'd be it'd be the fourth, it'd be the fourth Tuesday in February, so.
As it stands now, I see us making any other decision based on what we're looking at here. Then just a letter saying that it meets the requirements of minimums. Again, I would feel better if we do a field walk. It takes that long to check it out. And at least we can confidently say the planning is on.
Yep.
It's fine. Everybody
Sure.
okay with that? Indifferently? Okay. Then I'll make a motion, we schedule a field walk for this to confirm everything.
A second?
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Are we going to do this on a Sunday, or are we going to be on, daylight savings time?
There's not much daylight savings time yet.
When do we turn the clocks again?
Beginning of March?
All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it March 1st?
Isn't that the end of February, Jim?
We're almost
No.
at the end of it.
Yeah, we're in the middle of February now, so
Oh,
you,
sorry.
February
yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Definitely.
Okay, wetlands permit review, item A, this is a continued application to be 20-18, 200 East Haddam, Colchester Turnpike. This is on and Cindy and Lombardi. Construction of an addition in the upland review area, Assessor's Map 7, Lot 118. Good evening.
Good evening.
Why don't you, just for the record, just give us kind of a brief summary of what your plans are? And we have copies of everything.
Well, the plan is to take down the existing bedroom and construct a larger bedroom and a larger footprint in the
March
same area.
14th.
The corner of the bedroom impedes on that 50-foot setback. That's what we're looking at. By 6 feet.
Yeah, I think, according to the site sketch, it's 44 feet to the edge of the lake.
You know, what it doesn't show though is that 44 feet is almost straight downhill. It looks like on the maps that it's a flat
Yeah,
area.
having been there, we know that's not true.
And it's top of a ledge that goes right home to the
That's the challenge and the beauty of it.
So one of the questions, or one of the things that you mentioned to you when you were out visiting property, water that's gonna come off the roof, have you given any more thought to that, how you deal with it?
Well, it's on that ledge now, but whatever the remaining is, we would, and I did go back to the plans, and it does go to the east side, so that could be a gravel area. I don't know to what extent it is, because it is a rock drop off anyway on that side. But we can absolutely put the gravel to absorb the water.
There's a little bit of an overhang on it.
I was gonna say the house doesn't have any gutters on it now.
Yeah, so you're gonna have some concentration where the buildings come together. How is that water gonna be treated when the new roof comes down to the old roof?
And as far as I know, if, depending on the landscaping there, whether it's gardening or the wood deck, which is porous, and you have the gravel underneath, I can absolutely add gutters, I just didn't know if that was a.
No, I mean, it's not an absolute that you need to do that, just I want you to think about, because you do have some slope, and I know that most of it's ledge, but any soil that you do have there, any concentration of water, it's just going to take everything.
Yeah, we would absolutely put the gravel underneath the deck, or it would be surface gravel with the caulk material underneath to hold the sediment there.
Most of that, there's no real foundation underneath the main frame, right?
There is not right now. There's,
No.
right now it's on piers, it's gonna be on piers. We will,
So-
however, put some kind of, because it's gonna be right on grade.
That's under the new one, but your existing structure, right now, where the main part of the cottage, that's on, what's that on right now? Is
Well,
it-
it's it's like a foundation, but it's piers with a,
Pier.
it's piers with foundation in front, because it's so low to the ground.
Right,
And then when you get toward the back, it's concrete on the bottom, but it's wood right down, almost down to the grade.
so when it rains now and it comes off that roof, it just kind of slides under the foundation and
No,
slides
no,
toward the
nothing.
lake?
No, it does not, nothing goes on, it goes around it.
Okay, all right, so that's the idea is where's it gonna go when it hits those two by the chimney and shoots down? Yeah, so if it's stone treated surface, that'll dissipate it.
So the new structure is actually, from reading these plans, it's going to be sitting on piers. It's raised to some degree.
The foundation, because it will be on piers, but we are gonna enclose the foundation, whether it's block.
One of the things that was mentioned here, at some point you made for the deck, patio, wood patio.
In front.
And we don't have detail of that, so, I understand that I suppose the cost is gonna have be a factor a little bit. So at some point, when you get to the point where you're deciding to do that, you need to come back to us.
Understood.
I don't think it's gonna be a big deal, but we do need to see the detail of the construction. Typically, things like that, when that close to the lake, we don't allow covers over them because they become rooms and that sort of thing. So if it's an open deck, it's
It was planned on, the plan was to put the same thing we did down the bottom, mahogany deck on grade, gravel underneath. We're gonna be so close to grade anyway, we're not gonna be able to go up to the wall.
right.
But it would be open, but we'd like to have something out there, so we can put a couple chairs and sit.
Sure.
The piers, how will they be installed? It looks like from the detail, will you hand dig down to the rock and then they're gonna
have to
drill into the rock?
Into the ledge for anchors. I think there was 8 per
Yep.
pier.
So is there a lot of earth that has to get moved in order to
Nothing.
access the rock, or is it pretty much the rock's right
It's
at the
there.
surface? Yeah, okay. So I think just, and you said in the field, there's sort of one rock that was sticking up right close to the area you're gonna demo, that's gonna get just sort of
Well, it's, we think
hammered
it's,
off, or?
we think it's loose, but it's actually under the fireplace. So we're either gonna incorporate it into the structure inside the bedroom, which is good and bad, but if we can cut it clean, it'll, the loose part will be alleviated, and that's it. We don't wanna jeopardize the field soil fireplace, that's all.
What do you anticipate you'll be seeing for machinery coming in to do a lot of this work?
Probably nothing. I have a small tractor that I'll be doing just to clean up, making sure the rock is clean and move everything out of the way, but other than that, it's gonna be all clean.
So I was gonna say, just on the plan, Jim, do you think it's appropriate, like, just to have hay bales sort of at the top of the slope to just sort of keep, if there's not a lot of earth that has to be moved, but
I
still?
think most of it's gonna be going the back way towards where we were parking.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe if there's gonna be hay bales to be at the toe of that ledge and swing around, cause where the trucks back up for material and go from that access point, when the water comes off the building, you don't want it sweeping around to the lake. So maybe the best thing is prior to construction that but after demo, you know, I take a look at it and we talk about erosion control at that point.
That was kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Make an assessment, once get things cleared away
Yeah.
there, see if there's any need for it.
Cause I think towards the lake from that's gonna be okay, cause that was all ledge, but that little sweep on the backside could build up and head downhill.
Shoot down the driveway.
What are you gonna do with the materials you're taking out there?
There's not a lot of material in the sense of rock or,
Well, I meant like you're tearing down what is,
we'll have to go to the dumpster and take it away.
okay, taking offsite.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Eric? Good? Okay. All right.
All set.
Okay, we can make a decision on this, so.
Move that we approve the application of 200 East Colchester, East Haddam Colchester Turnpike, Bastion Lake, Stephen and Cindy Longobardi. Construction of an addition in the upland review area. I don't have the lot or the assessor's map number.
It's map 50 lot 118.
All right, for the construction of a new bed addition, with the stipulation that if they do put a new patio on the front, that they do have to come back to the commission.
And also to do a field assessment of soil and erosion controls needed after demolition.
After demolition. What he said.
We have a second.
Second.
Motion, give me a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just that it's in accordance with the plan dated 9 December 2020. And so if they're gonna change, I wanna note it.
What date was it in?
9 December 2020?
Anything else? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. We're good. Thank you. Enforcement officers report.
So I put on everybody's sheet a Connecticut land use law for municipal agencies. We got this Thursday afternoon. The class is Saturday, March 6th, 9 a.m. to 4:30. It's via Zoom. And then I read the red this morning as I'm ready to hand out your copies tonight to receive your printed course material in a timely manner. Please register by February 15th. we got it Thursday, so if you wanna go, just email me or Nancy rather, and we will send the, $40 fee in, so you get your printed copies of material, hopefully. Some of us have taken this is an all day, and they don't take much for breaks, I mean, tell you that right
And the whole thing is done by Zoom.
now, whole thing, oh boy, yeah. You know, and for some reason, they've always chose to do this to cover everything, planning and zoning, ZBA, inland wetlands, non-conforming uses, I mean,
You know,
you've been there twice.
I've been there before, and the part with wetlands is very, very small.
Didn't Mark used to do this part
Yeah,
of it?
Mark's not on it this year.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, he's not, no.
I think Mark, I think had some illness problems. But like I said, almost all of it is planning and zoning. The wetlands part was very small and
That's all I have.
Just for information, I got an email from our conservation commission representative saying that, well, he was sorry he couldn't make the field walk, but he'd like to make field walks, but somebody's not good for him.
So I answered
I
that
didn't
already.
respond.
I did, and I said, the reality is that, you know, once we get daylight savings, we'll pick a weeknight and do it then. But as it is now, between football games, soccer, Saturday hunting, and everything else, the commission a long time ago decided that Sundays mornings was it. That's, you know, the way of the world. So, you know,
Yeah, well, we're gonna switch over in a month or so anyway.
Hmm.
yeah, you say 14th,
March 14th is
So-
daylight savings time.
so we'll still have to do one more Sunday and then, you know.
All right, anyone have anything else?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.